to the etymology of Indios, right? Because the conquistadors, the Spaniards, the English, they call us Indios, right? Now, Indios means sons of God. They call us Moreno Indios. That means dark-skinned sons of God. Well, I haven't spoken on that in a little while, but that's what they actually call us, man. Indios, sons of God, man. Dios is God. Right? Indios, sons. That's what they knew they was encountering the sons of God when they came on this side of the earth. They was led by the Most High over here, using the chariots, going into Saint Elmo's fire, man. Which Cristobal Colon, which everybody knows as Christopher Columbus, the chariots, which are the so-called UFOs, guided him over here to this land. All right, look that up. All right, look it up in history. Saint Elmo's fire, right? They knew they was encountering a special people, man. And they already took down a portion. All right, the Southern Kingdom. They'd already taken them down over in Europe and in Spain and all that, right? The Moors. The real correct word would be Morenos, right? The Morenos, which means Jew or Moor, right? The Moorish people, right? They was already taking them down, right? They was taking them down, the strongholds they had over in Europe, called the Dark Ages, right? These are things they didn't want to teach you in those public school systems. The average college, they won't teach these things. They teach you how to be a fool, basically. How to be dumbed down, mentally and spiritually, man. They don't teach you righteous things, man. You may learn how to read, write, basic things, how to count, real knowledge. You don't learn those things, especially you people on the sign, man. You don't learn those things. You learn how to shuck a job and how to beat niggas, man. Right? You learn how to be entertainers, man, versus men of righteousness, man. Govern yourself in righteousness according to how the Heavenly Father has set forth for us to live, right? They teach you bullshit in this society, man. All right, they teach little boys how to identify as little girls and how to make little girls identify as little boys, man. This place is ran by number devils, man. Straight up number devils, man. And that's what America's about. Teaching wickedness, man. All right, teaching number wickedness. Teaching you men to be soft and timid and simps. Emasculating the men of Israel. That's what this society is all about, man. If you're a man, or you displaying toxic masculinity, when a man's supposed to be austere, a man supposed to be austere. He's supposed to be strong. All right, ain't no virtuous woman. They're virtuous men. Everything about the word virtue belongs to a man. All right, and that's the fact of reality, man. So they teach your daughters to be strong and all that old BS, right? And then the men, all right, the little boys, they grew up to be all soft and politically correct. The father is the most important thing within the family. But when your father is removed from your family, the family goes to waste. All right, look at the family structure within our communities, man. Our fathers have been systematically removed from the family. Government assistance, child support, right? Things that deprive a man of a daily living, man. All right. A man is most important to a family, man. Let me get that. I'm gonna go into the fact how our father is so important, right? Let's go into. let's go into give me every 1 second. I'm gonna grab this precept. Going to 1 second as I gather this precept. Okay. Let me pull out my pocket. Pull out my pocket. All right. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 30. I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna read down. I'm gonna grab precepts to go along with it, Lord willing. All right, it says, "He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end." Now you have this thing. You got this thing with parents want to be friends with their children, especially with the women. You don't be friends with your children. You're the parent. You know, you be the parent. You call some, especially a father, right? And I'm speaking mainly to you men, right? You cause your son to feel that ride often, man, because it's gonna cause him to learn boundaries and there's many things going to teach him how to be strong, to teach him how to be disciplined, right? Because a child has to be taught. When you come in this world, you have to be taught as a baby. Growing up, you have to be taught. Verse 2, "He that chastises his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintances." Yeah, because people see your children, right? People see your children and they well-mannered. It'll look well with your parents, right? Like with me, when people see my son, they say, "Man, he's a good kid." They always come up with me about my son. I had neighbors that come up with me about my son. Cause I let him be a boy, right? Be all rough. My son naturally rough. I don't even teach him really rough. He's just naturally rough. And so I teach him, right? I teach him, and I guide him, and I discipline him, right? But I teach him manners. All right, I teach him about Yehovah Shem Shai. All right, I teach him how to speak the language a little bit. He's a kid, but I teach him how to greet, salute, and all that, right? I teach him how to behave himself, how to discipline himself, right? So I've always gotten compliments about how I raised my son, and now he's right at the so-called adolescent years, where he's getting ready to be a young man, all right? And in doing the things I've done within his life, it's causing me to have honor to be his father, because he listens to me, he answers me correctly. When I give him instruction, he follows those instructions, because he know why. If he don't, right, then I'll be on it, man. He know that I'll discipline him, man. Because you're gonna learn, man, the right way, right? You're gonna learn the right way. You're gonna do it my way, because my way is the right way. Because I'm going based upon how the Heavenly Father, all right, set forth for me to raise you. All right, he's at the age where he's at the age where he's gonna learn, all right, things of the law, right? And I've been speaking with him for years, man, about how great it is to do things that are good in the eyes of Yehovah Shem Shai, right? So the Lord blessed me to have that kind of relationship with my son, Verse 3, "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him," right? And that's one thing about my son. Like my son, matter of fact, give a recent example. Now this kid was in the school, right? He was bullying my son, and my son, he know technical fight. So the kid had been messing with him so long. He ended up, whooping the bully's ass, man. And I know I didn't get down on him for that, but I got down on him because in the instance of if he don't swing on you, you don't swing first. You react, you protect yourself, right? See what happened was the other children, it was just one child had been trying to bully my son, and my son had been dealing with that shit for a while, man. So when he actually um, roused up to that bully and kicked his ass, well, it was a cause and reaction for it. Now I told my son, hey, you don't hit first, but you damn sure finish it, right? Because no kid should be going to that, right? But we just talk, hey man, the bully messed you, kick the bully's ass. You better get tough and whip the bully's ass, or else you're gonna keep bullying. Not the things they teach us in this society. Oh, he's bullying it up. Run tail this, run tail. No, the bully gonna keep messing with you. What you do is you kick the bully's ass. All right. And he felt bad, but I told him, no, son, you do this. Yeah, he's picking on you. And I know you got tired of it, but in this society, in this world, if you swing first, if you hit first, all right, they're gonna point blame and things, put the evil narrative on you because you responded to something that was happening to you in the evil way, man, being picked on, right? Verse 4, it says, though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind him as is like himself. Yeah, so that's the reason why I stay on my son. Even when he visits with me now, I'm always on him, teaching him things, making sure he's still sharp and groomed the way I want him to be groomed up. It's very important, man. Though I'm not physically living with him anymore, I still make sure he's sound mentally. And he know that I love him, and I will do everything to the best of my ability to make sure he's guided in the right way. Yeah? And my son, by the way, my son likes to be around me more than his own mother. Now, in this society, they teach you, you shouldn't do this. They try to tell you how to discipline your children, like what Adrian Peterson did. Man, that teaches your kid boundaries and discipline, man. They demonize Adrian Peterson for disciplining his children and shit like that, man. We all gotta ask what's growing up. We just get whooping in school, man. I was in elementary school growing up, man. We got discipline, man. That kept us straight, it kept us straightened out, So you didn't see, a child being, just wild in school. And if that child was wild in school like that, where he just didn't adhere to authority, he was dealt with, or she was dealt with, right? It wasn't to the degree where it is now, where a person that's in school, or a child that's in school right now, they don't have that discipline. They don't have the teacher that actually cared about their well-being, right? We had actual teachers when I was in elementary school that actually care about you. And we had a lot of our teachers was mainly Jake, man, mainly Negro, Latino women, man, Native women, man. That was our teachers when I was in elementary school, right? And they got different as you got older, right? Junior high, high school, and all that, right? But I'm talking about when I was in elementary school. You even had men in there, man, that goddamn, they cared about you, man. They get on your ass, man. I had my coaches that kept me straight, man. I had coaches cuss me out my mom porch steps, man. That show you how much they cared about my well-being. And my mom let me chew my ass right on her porch, man. But that showed how during that time, that was the '90s, man. That showed that showed how much that showed how much um, when Jake was we was all basically the police department was all Jake just about. We rarely ever seen the Edomite cop or the centurion, and they usually was a sheriff, right? But this during a time where the police station, was filled with nothing but Israelites, man, just about, man. I mean, if you seen the Edomite cop, man, it was a rare moment, man. We look at him like, what the hell he doing here? That's the vibe you got. But they actually, it was like that growing up, where they actually you had people in the neighborhood, New York parents, kind of like the old school style. You know what I mean? But other men that knew your parents, and even some of the older women, they would get on your ass, man. You being a mischievous child, right? Verse 5 says, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry. A horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. Right? Like when our family structure becoming single mother homes, that's the reason why a lot of Israelite children grew up, especially the boys. A lot of Israelite boys is unstable mentally, man. Because they think with their emotions like their mothers have taught them. You see what I'm saying? You see a lot of teenage Israelite boys into these juvenile systems, jail, prison. They're going in early, man. 14, shit. Some young as 13. So I can say 13 on up. They went into these juvenile detention centers and jails and prison systems. And they've been raised by their mothers, right? Raised by their mothers. Women are emotional. They think with their emotion instead of thinking logically or thinking, thinking ahead, looking having ahead of the road, right, or down the road, right. So your sons, if they're left to be within the household of their mothers, and you're not in their life, they're gonna grow up to become emotional and think and act off emotions, which is not going to go well with them. Most of you Israelites is in the prison system. You've been raised in single mother households. See? So the fact that and they did this on a podcast I be watching, the French Fit podcast. I watched it. They was talking about the fact that all those prisoners, and a lot of them prisoners are in there for non-violent crimes, right? But they're in their prison system, right? Which is a big industrial, the prison industrial complex is vast with locking up so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. All right? You know why? It's free labor, free slave labor. Free slave labor. All right, read the 13th Amendment, right? So they're in there for a reason, right? Esau want to get that free labor, right? We give them, they make money. They make $1. They make $1 a day, maybe. Cents on a day. So many cents a day, man. Come on, man. That's laughable, man. I'm talking about that's laughable, man. Pretty much free labor, man. All right. But they're the product, right? They're the result of single mother households, right? And the women of Israel, they rebellious, they're wicked as hell, right? They're wicked as hell, right? The women of Israel go along with these devils, giving their sisters and kick the man out. Especially the so-called black woman, man. She's the worst, right? The women of Judah, they're the worst, man. Basically, it's a reason why I'm saying that, right? She's the number out of all the tribes women. She's the number one saying that what? I don't need no man. This and that. They're Miss Independent. Let's start with yours truly, Eve, right? So-called black woman, right? I don't need no man. You know how they talk. You know how they talk to chicks, man. All right. So-called black woman is proud, man. Big whores too, man. All right. Big whores too, man. They just out of order, man. They always fucking doing things to willfully destroy the family structure. And then the Latin tribes, they follow behind us. Even though some of them got, womanly traits, man. Or feminine traits, right? They know how to cook and clean, but the women of Judah set the tone for the rest of the women. And then you have some of the northern tribe women, they just like the women of Judah, man. Don't get it twisted now. I see some of you Latin tribe women out there, out of order. Should you look at, speaking on the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? Most of the women that come there be what? Latinas. So you're not excluded from this conversation. I'm just making a point, man. I'm making a point, man. You Israelites as well, man. All right? You're part of the nation of Israel, man. I'm making a point because some of you out of order, man. I mean, I would say you're easier to deal with than the women of Judah. All right? The women of the Southern Kingdom, in general, right? But you're out of order. Some of you out of order too, man. All right? Now, where am I at? Verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Right? You know? And that's man, that's a big thing, man. Being friends with your children, playing with them too much. So when you're serious, they won't even understand or know that you're being serious. You mean business, right? You know, that's a bad thing, you know. I mean, outside of I may, my son, he like sports and shit now, so I may shoot a couple hoops with him or whatever. But as far as it go, man, we're not constantly playing when you come around here. I'm talking with him, make sure you got that umph in him. Watch movies with him, Speak the Lashon Kodash to him. You see what I'm saying? Talk to him about Yehovah Shem Yahweh Shai. Things that'll make me pleased as a father. As far as his actions. I speak with my son straight up, man. And in return, he loved me for that. Though I'm stern and strict on him, I'm austere with him. For the most part, and he loves me in return. Alright? And that's how we Israelite men, us men of Israel, we have to be like that, man. Alright? It says, verse 10, laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart. Chastise thy son and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee. All right, so that's what I do. I have him do things around the house when he was growing up. You clean your room. You do this what I ask you to do, and I'll let you play your game. You don't do this like you be playing that fucking game. That's the things I do with my son, my own son, right? You do what I ask you to do, then I'll allow you to do something that you want to enjoy. But you're going to learn to do this first. You're going to learn how to do this first and foremost, so that you'll know it's gonna be my way or the highway. You're gonna be a good child, man, a decent child, man. See, a mother always soft on the son, lenient on him, and often in the society take the confidence from a son, babying him and shit. You know, and that destroys that very thing they do destroys our sons, man. Not even our daughters, man. A father is capable of raising a daughter better than a mother, man. Because a mother, she's going, man. Man. Look at the women that's raised in single mother households, man. They're wild women, man. They're beast like women, man. All right, they're like lions, man. They're like dragons, man. They got that Miss Independent mentality, man. Because why? Their mothers couldn't keep a man because they ran their men away, nagging and shit, right? Ran them off. Chose Esau's government assistance over being submissive to their men, their own husbands, right? And that's what you Israelite women do, man. Especially the so-called black woman, man. All right, that's what it is, man. And so, when we get in the kingdom, all right, you're gonna see a total opposite of that, right? Our children to be raised in a healthy family environment, right? All right, they're going to be raised in total righteousness first and foremost, right? They're going to be raised in total righteousness. Your son's going to be sons, grow to be men, right? Real men, righteous men too. Because the Most High is going to put His laws into our inward parts, right? So our children are going to be we're going to be perfect, and our children are going to be perfect, man. All right? Hebrews the 8th chapter. All right? Our daughters are going to be well ordered. Women are going to be well ordered. The kingdom of heaven is going to be a kingdom of order, of being well ordered, well governed in righteousness, right? Because we see what being governed in wickedness is. You look around, right? So when the sons of Jacob, which is us, right, the sons of the living power, which is us, right? When our kingdom is established, all right, under Yahweh Shai, King David, right? It's going to be a situation where you see nothing but joyfulness. We're going to be at rest. We're going to be joyful in spirit always, and thankful and praising Yahweh Shem Shai. See? Because it's Yahweh Shem Shai is going to put us in order, right? It's going to give us a perfect mind and spirit, man. No more being led into captivity. Right? Grab this precept, man. We're gonna be living it up in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right. Precept real quick. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Isaiah 14 and start at 1. For Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right. So when you set something, that's something. That's done physically. Physically set. All right. Something in a certain place or area. So the Heavenly Father is going to physically set his people, right, starting the elect and the rest of the 1/3, back into the land of Israel. And how it's going to happen? By way of the chariots. All right? That goes into the strangers of our salvation, man. Being delivered, being beamed up on the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots. And the chariots are going to do what? Take us back to our land. That's the Most High's doing, man. See? It all goes back to the Most High's will, man. All right? Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall make them captives, who captives they were. You know, you heathen, start with Esau, Edom, on down, right? So-called white men on down to the rest of you heathen, right? We're going to be captives, man, of ours, man. Being slaves, man. All right? Recompense is going to take hold on you, man. Payback, man. It's going to take hold on you, man. You got to serve us, man. All right? It's going to be our service. That's a nice way of saying slave. All right? It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives their word, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Right, we're going to rule over our oppressors, right? We're going to rule over them, man. You're looking at your next rulers, man. All right? We're going to rule over you, man. All right, we're going to rule over you heathen, man. Right? That's what you don't understand. That's what you don't realize, man. We was made, us Israelite men, we was made to rule and have dominion over you heathen. Right up under our Lord Yahweh Shai, man. We was made to rule over you heathen, man. All right, we're gonna cause you heathen to submit to the will of the Heavenly Father. All right? You're gonna have to keep our laws. All right, you're gonna have to abide by our government. It's gonna be set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.